Good evening, and welcome to Shea Show Real Talk in the dark. Somebody said, "Damn, Shea, why is this in the dark? I mean, what's going on with that? Just why don't you put some type of banner up or something so people can look at something?" Well, if I really wanted somebody to look at something, I would be on actually. But the whole point of this is, it's like an old time radio show. Back in the day, they didn't have TV. Folks gathered around a radio and listened to stories. That's all they had. I mean, I watched the Waltons, and I sit there, and that was real shit. Even though I watched the Waltons, I said that was real shit right there. You know, I don't pretty much remember what it was to sit around the big troller and some more shit like that. I mean, I'm 60 years old, but I think there's still a little bit before me. So I see it. But that's the whole purpose of this. Just to just put you in a different space, a different place. Everything don't have to be the same. Everything don't need to be seen. I'm about to get deep. Don't sorry me, because it's not what I want to talk about. But I'll say that one for another time. So you know me, I tell those stories here and there, and keep it real at the same time. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we'll see. Okay, Daryl can't sleep at night sometime. Why? I don't know. I don't know how he even make it through the day, but he'll take a nap for an hour or two through the course of the day. But at night, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he just can't sleep, no matter what he tried. Sleeping pills, the whole 9 yards. I think that's actually a problem. You need to check that out. He can't sleep. So he Ubers on the side because he can't sleep. He'll get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and go out there Ubering till 6 or 7, and then come in, and then help me do my thing. That's a lot. So that's what he like to do. So the other night, we was coming back from somewhere, and we was just talking about Uber. And he said, "Oh, let me explain to you how it works." I never seen how that shit works. So he turned it on. He said, "When I turn it on, the map gonna come up, and somebody in a nearby area somewhere is gonna want to Uber. Watch. I mean, whoever developed this shit, I mean, I wish I could have got on the ground floor with that. I'm sitting here watching all this." He said, "Right there, bow." And so we go pick this guy up. He's getting off of work. He work at Foot Locker on Davidson. Just so I don't really like to be around strangers like that in my car. I mean, especially if you're sitting behind me. I don't know who the hell you are, and you sitting behind me too. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a problem with that. I mean, they'll say, "Hey, people just going to work and going home, blah blah blah." It's just basic stuff. I said, "Man, I don't know. It's a little bit different." I said, "Remember what you told me what happened with that one Uber guy? You went up to a fucking club and you didn't know it was a gay club. He didn't know this place was a gay club. He had no idea." And when the guy got in the car, he immediately started talking to him a little bit and started asking Daryl, "Can I rub on your shoulder?" And, I know Daryl. That's my brother. He get freaked out by that. I can imagine the look on his face when that guy said, "Can I rub your shoulder?" and shit. Daryl went into fucking straight up fucking panic mode. Like, what the fuck going on? I know he did. Oh my God, I can see his face. And the guy started trying to rub on his arm. Daryl said, "Hey, what the hell you doing?" Like, hell no. He started trying to rub on Daryl's arm and shit. So Daryl was getting ready to put him out. And there's something about you can't just put somebody out in the street, some old crazy shit like that. I don't know what it is, but I guess he got the guy all calmed down, and just dropped him off where he had to go. And I said, "Damn, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's crazy." So he said, "I'm gonna pick up this one guy." So we picked up the guy. He got off a Foot Locker. We took him home. He's pretty cool, no problem. And then He had this. He said, I'm gonna take another call. I said, okay. He said, now we're on the way to the car. He said, this is what I do. He said, the name comes up on the app, right? I see that. I see that. He said, and it depends on who it is. If it's a business person coming here, he said, I'll play some type of jazz music. Because I can just, already when they get in the car, I know it's a business person, I'm going to play a little light jazz. He said, but if somebody come in here like that R&B stuff or whatever, and I can fill them out like that, or at that age group, I'm going to put some R. Kelly on or something like that. I said, oh, you got this shit down to a fucking science. Okay. And so, this is the funny part. He got this shit down to a science, right? Yeah, okay. His fucking thing goes on. He said, pow, Nicole. I said, Nicole? He said, yeah, we're going to pick up a Nicole. Now, see what I'm going to do. Because I know I'm picking up Nicole. He said, I'm going to go ahead and put some, what's that damn girl's name? Some Mary J. Blige on or something like that. He just figured because this chick was Nicole, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. She's a Mary type of Blige type person. I guess he's trying to fill him out. That's what he said. I said, so we picking up Nicole. I said, how you know we picking up Nicole? He said, it says the name right there. Nicole. Picking up Nicole. I said, well, couldn't Nicole be somebody else? He said, no. Because whoever had the app, it's registered to them. I said, that don't mean who fucking coming. So he wasn't thinking. I mean, I'm thinking real quick, right? He said, well, Nicole. He go ahead and he fucking finds Mary J. Blige, whatever that shit was. It's all soothing and shit. Just like baby making music and shit. And so we going down in the hood, right? And then it said, make a right here. And I said to myself, I said, who in the hell is out here in the hood? In this hood, this time of night trying to Uber some damn where? My mind is a click. He said, listen, calm down. So it's dark. He pulls up slow to the location. Well, guess what? Sitting in this car in the driveway was like Pookie them. About 5 guys sitting in the fucking car. And one guy standing outside the car. And they smoking weed. I'm like, hell no, this ain't good. This ain't good. Go, man, go. He said, no, calm down. It's okay. He said, you just paranoid. Just calm down. And so Daryl rolls the window down and said, looking for Nicole? He said, yeah, that's me. And I fucking broke out. I broke out. I said, you're going to have to change the Mary J. Blige, bro. You're going to have to put on some fucking 2 Chainz or something. Because he was all smoking weed and shit. So he gets in the fucking car. I said, you know me. I said, so your name not Nicole, right? He said, no, that's my aunt. That's my aunt's account. She just set it up just for me so I can get home, get a ride to where I need to go. Oh, all right. So I looked at Daryl and said, see, you can have a fucking serial killer right in the back of your seat right now. It ain't Nicole back here, bro. And that's just like, and I'm sitting here, the guy he wasn't talking. And then when he did say something, it didn't make too much sense. And I'm saying, something wrong with this brother. I mean, immediately, and I'm looking on the fucking map. I'm trying to see how far we got to go. Because I want to hear and get rid of this guy. Because I'll be honest, when we first pulled up and Nicole got in the car, and we pulled off, I swear to God, I was waiting. I looked in the rearview mirror and my side view mirror to see if those guys was going to actually follow us. I was looking for that. So if they had followed us and then we would have made a left, and then they would have made a left, and we'd have made a right, and they would have made a right, it's time to bail out that damn car. Something finna go down. Something finna go down. You just pull over, hey, bro, you gotta get out. And if he get all panicky and shit and get ready to do what he gotta do, you are pre-warned already. So we try to help him get there. So this guy really, at some point, wasn't saying shit. So I'm getting really nervous because we got to go to Southwest Detroit. Now already, there's a lot of bad shit going down in Southwest Detroit. A lot of bad shit. A lot of fucking killings and murders been over there lately. And that's what we dropping Pookie off to? Over there on Schaefer and Schaefer near 4th Street? Oh. So we're getting there, and so all of a sudden, I don't know, Daryl started talking about diets and shit and how I lost my weight. I said, well, I quit, Daryl, I quit eating bread. I'm still, we started to try to get a conversation. I quit eating bread and meats and And I said, you know what, I did eat a little shrimp, blah, blah. And when I said that, that must have been a trigger word. Because as soon as I said, I'm talking to Daryl, old boy said, yeah, shrimp. That's what I do every day. I ate shrimp and lobster every day. Every day. You know that Bosco's right there on Livernois and 6 Mile? I said, yeah, man, I know where it is. He said, man, I shut them down. I shut them down. And I'm whispering to Daryl, speed up. Speed up. I said, Harry, get this motherfucker where you need to go. Something ain't right with this brother. And so I'm trying to engage him now, because now he's talking, right? Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to talk too. Now I can start to feel you out a little bit more. Now I can look at you in your eye while we're talking. I said, shrimp and lobster every day, bro? He said, every day. I said, well, let's start here. What do you do for a living? I don't think I can eat shrimp and lobster every day. It's about 6 days a week. Every day. That's all I eat. I just knew something was wrong with that, brother. He sounded believable. He said, I don't eat nothing but that every day. Who am I to doubt him? But all I know is I want to help and get him out of the car. That's on my concern. And so we pull up this Coney Island right there off of Schaefer. Right almost in the middle of Southwest, that part of Southwest Detroit, before you get ready to go into River Rouge. That's another damn story. And so it's this Coney Island there. The light was on. I seen somebody in there cooking or whatever the hell they was doing. But wasn't no people in there. Wasn't no cars. Nothing. Just an empty Coney Island. And oh boy, if he eating shrimp and lobster, whatever it is, I just turned around and said, well, you eating Coney Island too? You come all the way over here to go to Coney Island, brother? He said, oh, no. He said, my father bought this Coney Island. So we just trying to help him just get it up and running. I'm trying to come over here and help him. So, I was hanging out with my boys, where y'all pick me up, But, I come over here and I help cook so I can learn the business. I said, oh, shit. I looked at him totally different at that point. Totally different. But look what I assumed from the beginning. Well, I had to. Because I didn't know. But the more you talk to a person, sometimes you start learning more shit about them. They'll say something. They'll say some fucking trigger word, and you'll know. You'll know. You will freaking know. Now, let me say this. I was talking to this young lady today. She's on crack real bad. Real bad. It's a white girl. Real bad. They used to be my tenants. In one of my other earlier videos. The video where hey man, I'm going to take care of rent. 5 days and a wake up. Remember them? That was a pretty funny video. But, they was out there strung out on drugs and stuff. At some point, it was all good. I had to evict them. I know him since he's a little kid. But I had to evict him because I used to date his sister back in the day. So I figured I can look out for him because I know the family, and I know him when he was a kid. So I took the chance, and unfortunately it didn't work out, and I had to get rid of them, but they was on drugs real bad, real bad. Well, let's fast forward. I used to tell him at that point, I said, man, you need to get yourself together. I know you was a kid, man. You shouldn't have to go out like this, man. I know, Shea. I know. You remember me when I was a little boy, man. I'm kind of ashamed to even be here like this in front of you. I said, well, do something about it. I'm not criticizing you. Just do something about it. If I can encourage you to do something about it, let's just work on it. No problem. I would stay on them. But, with a person who owns drugs, they got to really have that awakening. They got to do it at their time. No matter what the fuck I say and when I say it. If they ain't fucking ready, they ain't going to go. That's just how it is. But, we still go ahead and say what we got to say. And support. That's the way it's supposed to be. Well, at some point he got it. Well, he's doing well now. Went to rehab. Left out. And moved on. So his girl he was with, when they're both on drugs, I'm sorry, I got to go. I got to go. That's part of my recovery is not being around this, and this is what you do. So he's brave, even though they was together 13 years. He walked off and said, I got to go. I got to start my life right. That's part of the recovery. So I applaud him on that. I really did. So in the process of doing that, just recently, like today, fast forward, this is a person who was on drugs, strung out, didn't have shit. Now look at him. He put up to me today in a F-150, a new F-150, you know, and I seen him when he got out the car and I got out. He came over there and hugged me. Said, man, I'm doing so good now. He said, you stayed on my ass. He said, I'm doing so good. I got a truck, got a new girl. He said, I just enrolled in a WC3 college over there on the east side 3 days a week. I said, man, I'm so fucking proud of you. Really, I am. I mean, you are a success story, brother. I said, I'm proud of you. And his girl, well, they still have to mingle together because they got a kid together, like 10 years old, a boy. But he said, I got to go. And that was it. And so he's doing well. And I talked to him. I said, you need to get your girl some help. I know you done moved on. I get it. But y'all had 13 years together too. You see what she's going through. Because you went through it. At least help her. Try to pull her up out of that shit too. Even if you are starting a new life, still pull her up. Y'all was in that shit together. So go out together. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. But, you're supposed to stay away from that kind of stuff. I said, hey, listen, do what you got to do, bro. I'm just trying to tell you what it is. If you got that strength to say, I got to this point I can help somebody, that was all about. Helping somebody to help her. You know what it took to get the help. So you got to be strong. So that can get kind of deep for people sometimes. But I seen her today. I said, come here. And she said, well, what's going on? I said, I need to talk to you. This was today. I need to talk to you. She said, oh, she just looked like this confusion, like, what did I do, right? And I said, listen, you ain't did shit. I just need to talk to you. It's nothing that you did. Nothing. It's nothing bad. It's something I think you need to hear. And she said, okay, well, I'm going to make a run. I said, okay, go ahead and make your run. You got my number. Call me. So I didn't think she was going to fucking call. My phone rings at 7:40. And it was her. She said, well, I'm down here now. You can come down and talk to me. I said, oh, okay. All right, I'm on my way. Because I get ready to go home. So I said, okay. I went on down there. And she came out. And we got to talking. Right about, I said, what I'm going to talk to you about? She just like put her head down. She said, yeah, I know what you want to talk to me about. I said, what I want to talk to you about? So we can be on the same page. She said, about getting my shit together. I said, yes, now this is going to be easier now because we're already there. You need to get your shit together. You need to do something. You got a child down there. Just because you and him not together no more don't mean this kid should have to suffer or watch his father go on with a new life, and watch his mother just sitting here just running the street. Because at some point he gonna regret you. At some point he gonna lose respect for you. At some point, if you don't get yourself together, he gonna lose respect for you. He's only 10 years old right now, but at some point he gonna be a man. He gonna be a man, and if you're still doing the same shit when he's a man, that's all he gonna remember. My mama ain't shit. Period. I said, he's not going to stay a boy long. I said, you got to remember this. I mean, you should want to do better. You shouldn't want to be out here on drugs. I get it. Some people do what you got to do. She said, she started crying and said, Shea, I'm just stuck. What do you do when you're stuck? And I thought about that for a moment. I said, well, I get it. I understand. You are stuck. Let me explain what stuck is so we can be on the same page. You're stuck because you don't know what to do, where to go, what direction to go, I don't have no money. I'm not really doing nothing. I'm working like 15 hours a week. I got this kid. I'm staying with somebody else who really don't want me to be here. And if that turns sour, I'm in the street, got nowhere to go. I said, did I touch on it? See, that's what I'm saying. I know. I know. You got to get yourself together for you. Just you got a child here. He's dependent on you. Make the example now. Make the sacrifice. You ain't got to go out there and do what you need to do. I mean, if you feel like you just need to do something so you can keep some money going in your pocket or something, because there are women out there who did what they had to do. Some women out there laid it in the back to go through law school, whatever it is, but they didn't lose their focus. You know, they knew that this is something I got to do. I'm gonna do what I got to do. But I said, but don't do what you got to do just because you feel like you ain't got no fucking choice. You got a choice. You can only be stuck if you want to fucking be stuck. You got a cell phone, right? All you got to do is, obviously, the bill is getting paid some type of way. Use it. Use that phone for good. Call that treatment center that he just got out of. Matter of fact, have him call and give you a referral. They know he succeeded, and he'll tell them about you. Get that number from him and call down there and tell him I got a problem and I really, really want some help. I said, do it. I said, if you don't have nobody to take you, I'll take out a minute, whatever the fuck I'm doing. Just say, hey, Shea, I made that call, and I got to go down. Let me stop. Okay, let me leave Pookie back here to cut the grass. I'm on my way because you reached out and I told you I would be there. So I will be there. I said, listen, I'll be there for you. I'll go there with you, sit and see what they're talking about. I'll be your chair section. I'm here for you. I want you to make it. I want you to succeed. I want your kids to look at you like they respect their mother. You know, it starts now. Don't wait too late because time waits for nobody. It's like this. You can keep doing the same. I thought about this in the video. If you can keep doing the same shit over and over and over, time is still moving on. While people are still doing the same shit. Oh, they're on this treadmill. They're not really thinking, how do I get off this fucking treadmill? Because they just been on it so long, it's just trained. Got to get off that treadmill. You have to. So you can move forward because time is waiting on nobody. Time is moving on. Look in the mirror. Some of you look in the mirror. Time is moving on. There's some things that's changing. Somebody out there getting a lift. Somebody out there with them new huggy panties is just getting this panty line like they really got a shape. When they take that thing off, it's just, whoosh, shit is all over the place. Things are changing. It really is. So you got to change with the times. Don't be stuck. That's what happens to a lot of people. They just freaking stuck and don't know what to do. You gotta when you get tired of being tired. I say this shit all the time. You just can't be tired of something. Because I hear people say all the time, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you got to keep saying it, you ain't tired. I say it all the time. You got to be, when you get tired of being tired, that's it. That's when you will make the move. That's when you say, you know what, I got to do something with my life. I got to move forward. Because I just seen what my breaking point was right here. It just, boo, right in front of me. So you got to be tired of being tired to want to do something. So I just told her, listen, I'm going to be there for you. You know, but you got to want to do this too. You just can't just go out and do what you need to do so you can go out there and buy a rock to stay high, because when you get high, you just think you just like your problems all over, right? She said, yeah. I said, but how long is your problem over? For what, fucking 5 minutes? 10 tops? Wow. That's deep. That is deep. So you got to think about that. What time is? I'm trying to see what time it is. I joined. But I know I'm into 25 minutes and 5 seconds of this video. So I want to just basically just come on and just keep it real with you. Uh, and say what's on my mind from time to time. And tell you a story from time to time too. Next time I'll tell the Leonard story. The Leonard story was a really, really, really funny story. Very funny story. True. A very true story and a sad story. You know what? I might even get into this shit. I'm just talking. Some people can be going through something in their life and you don't know what they're going through. You have no idea, having a clue what they're going through and who they really are. You know? And it just shows you what type of people are out here in the streets and just in the world. You just have to be careful sometimes. Because everybody who come across a certain way just not going to be who they perceive to be. They're not. Well, I guess with Leonard, it should have been easier to see. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm dealing with a crackpot, and I'm just going along with this shit, right? Dave and I think it was Dave. I was out in I think it was fucking Ferndale, looking at the house in Ferndale or something. Oh no, Hazel Park. So in the middle of the video, the phone rings. You know, in my earlier videos, people call all the time while I'm doing videos and I talk to people. And I said, "Who is this?" He said, "This Shea?" I said, "Yeah, Mr. Shea." I knew it was a Shea Show fan there, right? I said, "Who is this?" He said, "I'm Leonard from Buffalo, New York." I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, hey, Leonard from Buffalo, New York. How you doing?" "Yeah, man, it's all right, man. Just, I like what you're doing down there. I like what you're doing down there. Uh-huh. I said, "Oh, okay, well, thanks." Well, now I know. I said, "I'm really dealing with a fucking crackpot." He said, "I want to know if you got a place down." I said, "Listen, I'm in the middle of a video. I'll call you back. I see your number here on the caller ID. I'll call you back. Let me finish this video, and then I'll call you back." He said, "Okay, no problem. I'll be waiting." So we do the video, close out, see the next location, get in the car, and start riding. I forgot all about that because I get calls all the time. I actually forgot all about it. I really did. And so, let alone call the guy back, I just forgot about it. So about 10 minutes into the drive, my phone rings. Bling, hello? "Hey, you said you're going to call me back." I said, oh, this is, yeah, you. Okay, all right. Well, man, I got tied up, man. I'm sorry, man. So what's going on? He said, "Well, I want to rent a place from you." I said, "Well, you what?" "I want to rent a place for you. You got things down there for like a $500? I said, "Yeah, man, I got something, man. I got something. I'm really carrying this. I'm carrying this shit on with this guy." I said, "This shit can't be serious, but I'm gonna play along. I'm gonna play along. For shits and giggles, it might turn out to be a great video or something." So he wanted my PO address and where to send a money order for $500. So for shits and giggles, I said, "Hey, man, here it is. Here's my PO thing, blah, blah, blah. Making the check payable with the so, and so." And I was telling Dave, whoever the hell that was, I said, "Yeah, Dave." I said, "This guy is a crackpot. That's straight up crackpot. There's somebody who wants to send some bullshit mail or some shit like that or something stupid, or stupid letter or something, right?" So I ain't paying no attention to it. Time go by. Was it 2 weeks? Because I didn't check my P.O. box in like 2 weeks. And when I went there, I started thumbing through my mail, and I see this letter from Buffalo, New York, with his name. I said, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "Maybe it's a hate letter or something stupid." I opened it up. It's $500. It's $500. I said, This motherfucker sent it. I said, if it's this easy, I could be rich right now. But after he sent it, so I didn't know what to fucking do. I didn't. I said, "Well, I don't want to cash this shit. Something's wrong. Something ain't right here." I said, "I'll just hold on to it. I don't want to cash this." And so he ends up calling me. He said, "This Shea?" I said, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He said, "You get that money?" I said, "Yeah, you did send that. You, what did you send that for?" "You said you had to pay for $500. So I said, "You $500." I said, "Oh shit. You ain't seen the shit or nothing. He just sent me $500 because I said I had a place for $500. It could have been a fucking shoebox." But he said, "I'm coming down there." I did have a place on Benatar, right? I did have the place. So the place was like clean. I had just did carpet and painted it, but I didn't rent it out. The upstairs didn't rent it out. And so I didn't think no more about it. So one day I'm going to Dan's house on Roseline to do something, waiting on DTE, some shit like that. My phone rings at like 9 o'clock. He said, "Hello." I said, "Hey, who is this? Leonard from Buffalo, New York?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm here. I'm here." I said, "You where?" He said, "At the bus station." I said, "At the bus station? Fuck you doing here?" He said, "I sent you $500. You said you had a place." I said, "Hell no." I said, this can't be fucking happening right now." I said, "Well, listen, Leonard, I'm on my way to Dan's house to do something. I gotta wait for DT. I didn't know you was coming, bro." He said, "Well, I'm down here." I said, "Well, listen. Well, you at the Greyhound bus station on Howard, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay. Well, when I'm done doing what I gotta do, I don't know when that is." I said, "I'll come and I'll pick you up." He said, "Okay." And I'm sitting, I hung up the phone, click up. Like, hell no. This this cannot be. This this guy cannot be here at the bus station right now because I got $500 for a place he never fucking seen. This some Twilight Zone shit. I said, "Okay, fine." So I called him back. I said, "All right, man, I'm coming down that way." I said, "What you look like?" Because, there's a lot of us down there. So, I mean, I don't know who going to look like. Everybody might look the same. There's a lot of us down there. So, I mean, what you got on? He said, "Well, I got a jacket suit on. It was black and yellow. You see me, and I got a do-rag." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "That shouldn't be hard. I don't care how many brothers down there. I should be able to spot that. How many people riding around with a yellow and black jogging suit with a fucking do-rag? That got to stand out." So I get off of the lodge and get off at Howard. And it's like I said, it's a whole bunch of us over here, right? So I'm trying to look through the crowd and shit. I said, and lo and behold, this one guy stood out like a fucking bumblebee with a fucking do-rag on. That's what he looked like. I swear to God, he like a bumblebee with a do-rag on. So I said, "Oh, hell no." I said, this guy is nuts. So I turn around to try to pull up. He said, "Hey, Shea, how you doing, man?" I said, "Listen, man, it's car behind us, man. Just put your shit in, brothers. I got the side door. Put your shit in." He said, "Okay, bro, I like your videos." I said, "Brother, put your shit in. We got to go, man. People honking their fucking horn at me. He don't know what's really going on. I know what's going on. It's just he oblivious to this shit." I said, I knew then. I said, "I am fucked." I said, "How in the fuck I do this? How did I, how did I let this happen? I'm more smarter than this. How did I let this shit get this far?" I mean, I was kicking myself in the ass because now I have this responsibility from Buffalo, New York. Don't know nothing about fucking Detroit. Send me $500 for a place he ain't never fucking seen and depending on me. Oh, God. Anyway, I take him over to when he put the shit in the car, he came in with 2 duffel bags. 2. I said, "Where the rest of your shit? Is it going to be shipped here or what?" He said, "This is it." I said, "That's it." He said, "Yep, everything I got right there." I said, "No 2 duffel bags? Everything you own?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Hell no." I said, "This going to be really bad." I done picked a fucking squatter from another state. That's all I did. I picked up another squatter from another state. The first thing that hit my mind when I said, oh my God. I said, how can I be so fucking stupid? But it wasn't a situation. He was genuine. I mean, he really wanted the place. He really wanted to pay rent. He said his Social Security was like $748, maybe almost $800 a month. And I said, "Well, brother," I said, "if the rent is $500, if you're getting like $700 and some change, if the rent is $500. I said, you still got to pay your gas, your lights, you know. I said, I pay the water, so you got a lot of stuff. By the time you finish with those expenses, especially in wintertime, I said, you're not going to have no money, man. He said, nah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I said, brother, you ain't going to have no fucking money. So what I did, because obviously he wasn't fucking thinking, he's just been getting through life like that. Just stupid. Just somebody seen he was stupid and realized he needed help and said, fuck it. They didn't have the time to fuck with him. And he got lost. There's a lot of people out there who just, he got lost. And this is who he is. He just walk around with blinders on. Just, oh my, it's terrible to live like that. And so we walked up there to the property. I'm sitting here showing a place, and he said, this is nice. This is nice. I said, yeah. I said, well, where you going to sleep, bro? I said, hey, this place ain't furnished. He said, you don't have nothing? He said, right on the floor. I said, on the floor? He said, yeah. He got on the fucking carpet. He said, this is nice. This is nice. I said, this motherfucker ain't never had shit before. He couldn't have. He just like, he was cherishing that damn floor. I said, bro, you ain't got to do that, man. You ain't got to do that. And I felt bad for him. So I said, don't you have, you got some money? He said, no, not really. He said, I got like maybe $300-$400. My life savings, Huh? You don't sent me $500. You done came down here on the Greyhound bus with 2 duffel bags. 2. That is crazy. So, I can't let you go out like that, brother. So, I took him to Sears on Middle Belt and Livonia, 7 Mile and Middle Belt. So if anybody know where the Walmart, if you know where the Walmart is, right there on Middle Belt, 7 Mile and Middle Belt. I spent a lot of time over there in that Walmart's. And then there's a Sears right next to there that actually just recently closed down. So we go into Sears on the second floor. Now, I realized this guy only got like $300 or $400 in his pocket, so I really feel bad because I felt like this guy here because of me, so I just can't let him just sink. I mean, I could have, but that's just not who I am. So I said, listen, man, go ahead and get your sheets, pillows, blah 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 blah. I bought all that shit. I bought all that shit for him because I felt bad for him. And he didn't even have a fucking microwave. I said, how you gonna cook, man? I ain't going to restaurants around here. I learn my way around. I said, oh my God, this guy. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a functional retard. Oh my God. And so I said, no, man. Let's go get a microwave, man, and we can go to the store and get some other little stuff, man. So, if you want to make something, man, you can put it in the microwave. It's like I was teaching a baby and shit, He said, okay, that's cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And obviously, this guy has never been on the escalator before. I don't know who haven't been on a fucking escalator. All you gotta do is just when it's moving down, you don't even have to fucking time it. Just step on it. And the next step gonna come down. It's fucking simple. So we get ready to walk down towards the aisle to go downstairs to go out. And I get on the escalator. I wasn't paying no attention. He had the microwave in his hand. I had the other shit. And so I got to bounce talking, so I realized he wasn't behind me. So by the time I got down, I looked up and said, Leonard, come on down. Remember now, I don't know nothing. I know nothing about him not being on the escalator until now. Well, it took me a couple of minutes to figure it out. I said, can't nobody be this goddamn stupid. And so I said, come on down, man. He said, I can't get on down there. I don't know about getting on that thing, man. I said, huh? Getting on that thing is fucking escalator. What you mean getting on that thing? He said, I ain't been on one of these things before. I said, Shea, what did you do to yourself? Oh my God. How's this guy fun? How did the guy make it this far in life? I mean, all type of shit going through my mind. And now I realize he's fucking serious. I said, Leonard, just put one foot down on the escalator and just step on it like you fucking walking. So he looked at it. He actually trying to time fucking the stairs is coming out of the escalator. He's trying to time it. I said, oh, this ain't gonna go well at all. And so by the time he put the foot on there, I guess the excitement and the rush of that fucking stair moving like a million miles a second, he just lost his composure. He said, ah! I said, what's wrong? He started doing the Chinese split and stuff, and right behind him was this white guy that grabbed him and like pulled him back to safety, like whoosh. He said, you all right? He said, man, that thing there, man, I'm not getting on that thing. I said, hell no, I'm watching all this shit. So the white guy said, hey, there's an elevator over there in the corner there. You can take that down to the first floor. He said, okay. And so he walked that way, and I said, fuck that shit. I cannot wait. I ran around the store to where that elevator was. I was waiting on that door to open. Oh, I was waiting on that door open because I was going to fucking lose it. As soon as I seen him, I didn't give a fuck at that point. I said, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to let you know right now, as soon as the door open, if I see some stupid shit. Oh, that door opened because he had a do-rag on, right? And it was dirty on top of that. A pink do-rag that's almost like it was black, but it was dirty. And when that door opened, he had his glasses on sideways. I don't know, the do-rag seemed to turn another way. I don't know how it did it, but it just, and he had this microwave that was like, he's holding on to the fucking deer like, oh. Freaking lost it. Oh, all the tears heard Shea that day. Everybody looked around like, who the hell is that? I didn't give a I lost it. I fucking lost it because I said, you know what? I'll probably never have another day like this ever in my fucking life. Just fucking roll with it. Who knows where this shit gonna go? This might turn out to be a great series of videos, and it did. It did. Over the time that Leonard been in that place, it turned into a series of videos. From this guy wanting to be a bounty hunter to a probation officer. What else? It was always something. He would send money off in the mail to get some type of certificate to say I'm taking bounty hunter classes, and send him like a little certificate. And I said, Leonard, I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, man, I'm an official bounty hunter. Mm-hmm. He walking out to my fucking car in the hood over there between Canfield and Mack. Anybody on the east side of Detroit know what I'm talking about? Over between Canfield and Mack, and you walking around with a damn like a sheriff badge around your neck in the hood? Oh, you were asking for trouble, bruh. At that point, I didn't know how he was making it over there. That's when Lori was here. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know how this guy making it. I don't know why he ain't got killed yet. She said, well, you know what they say, Shea? The God protect babies and fools. I said, well, then he got the ultimate protection then. He really do. I said, I never seen somebody so fucking stupid. Ever. I didn't think stupid went to that level. I just thought stupid was stupid. But, oh no, when you can take stupid and take it to another level of stupidity, oh, you in for some interesting shit. But you know what? I'm going to stop because I see this video is getting, God, this is like 43 minutes. This is probably going to be the longest Shea Show Real Talk I have ever done. So this is what's going to happen. Some of you hardcore folks are going to stay tuned. You're going to listen all the way through and put some of you to sleep. The kind of hard, not so hard Shea Show fans is going to get to, they'll get to about 25 minutes and say, you know what, just going to pause it, and I got to get up in the morning and take Pookie to school, so I'll just come back. I'll come in on a minute mark of 25, 22, whatever. Then they'll do that. There are some people who just come in off the rip and say, what the fuck this motherfucker talking about? And just go somewhere else and don't know that they're missing a real good message. Because that's what I do. I deliver a very great message when I do come on. So again, I'm sorry for taking this so long. But, I told you I'm all over the place. And like I said, when you just shooting from the hip, you just start talking. Ain't nothing scripted with me. I mean, I say what I got to say. I say what's on my mind. It might take me 10 minutes. Hell, it might take me a fucking hour. But I'm going to say what's on my mind. It's up to you if you want to listen. Have a good night.